Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you can hear us and you can see us as always. Hopefully you're here and joining us live. It is, of course, time for our Monday Night Natter. Now, this week's Monday Night Natter is actually the very first launch from Jamie Rodgers Crafts for 2026. I had to panic then, Pete. I forgot what year we was in. It took me a moment. Did you hear the pause? There was a moment there of what year is this? And when is this the first release of? No, it is our first Jamie Rodgers Crafts release of 2026. And I hope you're going to fall in love with this as much as I and the design team have. It's so pretty, it's so delicate, and several of the components are going to be adding to collections that we've also bought you previously. So we're adding on to them. You know we like to do that. We like to build a library. I'll waffle more about this as we go through it, I'm sure. But as always, if you are joining us and you are coming into the room as we speak, do please say hello and let us know that you are here with us. Tonight, as I say, is genuinely quite an exciting one. I love a sneaky peek and I love to see what you guys think of it. So as we're going through the items, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments what you're thinking of these things. Are you excited about them? Have you got crafty ideas springing in your mind as we're going through them? We have actually got probably, and I haven't counted, I haven't even really looked at them. So tonight is going to be a bit of a surprise for me too. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I should imagine we've probably got the most DT samples we've ever had. When we put this up on our DT group, we run our DT group quite different to a lot of people run their groups. Instead of forcing our DT, I'm not forcing sounds a bit harsh, but instead of where it's pre-selected that a DT has certain releases or certain designers or certain brands, bits like that, to the majority, our DT kind of pick the bits they want to play with. They might stick within a brand, but it's kind of open to them. And if they don't want to do that collection, it's not their cup of tea, or you know, maybe they're busy, whatever it may be, they don't have to do it. They're not committed to doing every single release. And that's really our way of making sure that they take the items that they want to work with and that they want to create. And when we put this up and said to them, this is the next release, every single DT member said, yes, please, could I do it? Could I play? And that to me is always a really good sign. It also means that we have the most inspiration I think we've ever had to share with you, which again is a really lovely thing to be able to do. Anyway, I'm waffling lots. Let's say good evening to a few of you, and then I better introduce Pete before we forget his ear, because I do that every now and again.
He does, he forgets me.
So good evening, Greg, good evening, Tracy, good evening, Emma, Kim, Hadrian's Hobbies, that'll be our lovely Natalie, I imagine. Lovely to have you here, Natalie, and of course Hadrian's Hobbies, flying our stockist flag for us. Lovely to have you here. Sue, good evening, Emma, good evening, Sharon, Rosie, Siobhan, Samantha, Rose, May, Anne, Kathleen, Laura, Deborah, Joyce and Beth Ann. Thank you all very much for joining us. It is always a pleasure to have you here with us and we never take it for granted. So thank you very much for coming along and joining us on this Monday evening. Now then, before we forget, let's jump over to the all-important guy in the corner. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening. Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
We keep them on track tonight.
Have we had a good day,
Good
Peter?
tonight. Yeah, I think so.
I don't feel like I've seen you, so you've probably had a very good day.
Been very quiet.
Been peaceful.
All I'm saying.
Kind of been in our own departments today a little bit, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, yeah.
So it's gone quick.
Yeah, but I hope you're all okay. Thank you for joining us tonight. Got some nice little bits to show tonight, haven't we?
I don't know if you can make promises of flashing nice little bits this early on in the evening. It's not even past 9.
Come downhill just because Gwen's here.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do tonight slightly differently. We're going to take a very quick overview of the new collection. Then we're going to go really slow and go through all of the samples to share with you. And then when we've got time, we'll fit in a demo before we leave you in peace for this evening. So quick snippet, long look, little bit of demo. Let's see if that works. Let's see if we can stick on track. Now the bits on my very important card, I have to say, I always do that because I always think if I wrote it the right way up, one week it is going to be that way. I think I'm the right way up this week, we're okay. So the collection we're going to be looking at, and I will remind you of this, but the collection we're going to be looking at this evening, you can't buy it. It's nowhere. You can't touch it. I'm sorry, this is a sneaky peek. That means that it will be launching on Saturday, and we're being cheeky again because not only is it kind of exclusive to the TV, so exclusive to Hobby Maker, it's also kind of exclusively with Gwen as well. So I don't know, what do you call that? Unexclusively exclusive?
Semi-exclusive.
Semi-exclusive?
Almost exclusive.
I don't know. There's only two places you're going to be able to buy it Saturday. One is going to be Hobby Maker. The other one, Unicorn Crafts. Because of our lovely Gwen is off to Unicorn Crafts in Sheffield for a demo day. And this collection will be with Gwen for the day. She will be playing and inspiring and teasing with this collection. So on Saturday, come 10 a.m, you can go to Unicorn Crafts and get your hands on it. Or you can wait till later in the day and order it from Hobby Maker. And my show times are going to be 1 p.m. I've gone and framed my card across the room, honestly. 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. on Saturday. So yeah, a couple of options for you. We'll chat more about Unicorn Crafts. Pete hasn't got my card. I'm going to have to go. This is what I'm working with today.
I've got a movie tea trolley. There you are, my darling.
Thank you. So I've lost my flow and everything.
Yes.
I've got off a card, I'm useless. This is why Ant and Dec hold them. Keeps them on track. Okay, so Hobby Maker Saturday 1 p.m. 5 p.m. That's the important bit you need to know. Unicorn Crafts demo day with Gwen going on from 10 till 4. Very, very excited about this. It's the first demo day that we have done at Unicorn Crafts, and it's always really lovely for Gwen to go out and meet our kind of stockists and of course the customers that are around that area. So if you are in Sheffield, that area, or willing to travel, Saturday is the day to go and meet Gwen at Unicorn Crafts. There is of course an event page set up in the event section that'll tell you all about it. So have a little look out for that if you haven't already.
Gwen says selectively exclusive.
Selectively exclusive, cheekily.
Kim said double exclusive.
Double exclusive, doubly exclusive. I like doubly exclusive. It makes it sound like it's even more exciting, doesn't it? Okay, so while we work out the terminology for this, shall we start with our sneaky, shall we? So the first collection that we're going to be looking at within this release is very, very exciting. It is, of course, our Mats and Layers collection, and as you can see, we are bringing you hearts. Now, I know many of you have seen me talk about these previously in all of their different shapes and sizes and designs, but if anyone is joining us new this evening, it might be nice to just quickly run through this. Our Mats and Layers run very differently to most brands of Mats and Layers. We bring you patterned edges, but we then bring you separate line details where we can fit them in. And these separate line details can of course be used completely independently, or they can actually go through the different sizes and styles of the other designs. So you might wish to take this one, which is the dash with the hearts. You've got postage and dash hearts. So we've got a new dash in this one. That's come into a couple of the postage ones recently. But you might take the dash line and pop the dash line in the plain heart, or you might pop it in with a scalloped one, or you might go for the decal or the fluted. The choice is yours. Now, something else you're going to notice, for the first time, we've managed, because we've got a little bit more room, we've fitted another line in with a fluted. Usually we don't have enough room between them to fit them in production. We've managed to squidge in another line. So in this one, you've got large stitched lines. So fluted edges, large stitch lines. Then you've got your decal and your original stitch. So we've now got original stitch, large stitch and dash. So giving you kind of 3 different styles of stitching, if you will. Then we've got our plain ones. Now our plain ones are really important because they give us double the amount of plain edges. So these give you the ability to cut your openings into all of these ones, or of course build up on top of them, giving you the right size mats and layers to still keep and see your deckled edges or your scalloped edges or your fluted edges. And then lastly, we have what is always my favourite, which is the scalloped with the pierced. Now, as I say, all of this interchange completely. And a lot of this evening, you might watch this thinking, they're a little bit late for Valentine's. What's that Jamie up to? Did he forget Valentine's is February the 14th? I certainly did not. But to me, a heart and a lot of what we're going to look at this evening is much broader than one day of the year. If I'm going to take the time to sit and make a card for somebody, and I'm going to go to all of that hassle, all of that expense, all of that time, however we put it into it, I'm doing that because I love them. I'm doing that because I care for them. I'm not doing that for the postman. I'm doing that for people I really care about. And if I care about you, I'm going to send you a heart. I'm going to share that I love you. And a heart doesn't have to be bright red and Valentine's-y. It can be a subtle layer. It can be the shape of your card. It can be in your scrapbook when you're scrapbooking something. It could be a newborn baby. It can be an anniversary. It can be wedding days, it can be all sorts of occasions. Get well soon to show that you love somebody when they're feeling ill and under par. To me, these are the stages that we bring out the heart. Valentine's, yes, of course we're going to go to the hearts for Valentine's. Of course we're going to show romance for Valentine's. But do you know what? As a card maker, I'm going to make one card for P. That's it. So am I really going to go out and buy loads and loads of stuff for one day, that one time? No. So as a collection, as a reason, I want to know that actually I've got purpose to this for the rest of the year, for the rest of time that I'm creating. Whether I'm going to put Christmas elements onto these hearts, whether I'm going to bring them into all of the different themes that we're going to bring out and work with this year or last year. To me, that's what it's all about. So I know it might seem a bit odd, hearts, but there's lots of hearts, and it is all about making sure that we're sharing love and care throughout the year, not just February the 14th. Yes, important February the 14th, but there's a whole rest of that year that we craft for, and people's birthdays, Mother's Days, Father's Days, that we really want to be sharing love and care for those events. So there are your hearts. There is, of course, 5 of these. We'll chat prices in a moment when we go through the boards, and I'll show you more. I'm waffling too much. We were meant to do this quickly, wasn't we? So on to the next part. This is now we move into our Shabby Chic collection. So a little quick overview of this. This one brings with it our keys, and you're going to see there's some steampunky keys, there's some traditional keys, there's some romantic keys, there is of course locks to go with them. Aiming again for lots of them kind of travel elements, them kind of steampunky elements, those romance kind of elements. And again, you're going to see that you've got 21 and 18 for the key of the door. Keys also come in very handy for new homes as well. Then we're going to move forward while still in our Shabby Chic collection, and we're going to look at our Shabby Chic collection rose border. Now I am going to predict that this is going to be the most popular one. I'm going to be honest here, and I swear I don't know the answer to this one. Have you ordered triple the amount of this one to all of the others? I'm putting you on a spot here, aren't I? Because I swear we haven't discussed this. Am I getting a yes nod, or I'm going to wait there?
No,
Continue the look I'm getting. Don't just give that look to me. Have we, Peter, ordered triple the amount of this border versus everything else?
I think I missed that meeting, but we've ordered a lot of the whole, so.
But any more of this one? Okay, all right. We'll move swiftly on, because I have a feeling that when you see this on a board, when you see what you can do with this, this is amazing. There are 3 dies in here. I'll show you on a board, it'll make more sense. But if you only buy one item from this collection, I predict it's going to be that one, if not the rest of it. But it does all work very nicely together. Now, I'm kind of doing this quickly, but you're going to notice the edge here. This edge is exactly the same edge that we bought to you when we bought the squares and the circles. So if you was watching last week and I said little hints, there's going to be new additions to this collection, this is one of them, just one of them. But it's giving you the border ability to make your edges, because that's going to stay in, that's going to stay attached to your card unless you choose to cut it out, and that is completely independent. There is just that one edge there on its own, so you can use that to coordinate with all of these. So if you're doing stopper elements to go on your easel cards, you want the edge of your card to match these panels, that's going to work perfectly for you. So if you've got these in your stash, that really is a bit of a needed. That's a bit of a given that you're going to have to have that one, I feel, for me personally. Sticking with that edge, sticking in the Shabby Chic collection, we bring you the matching heart. Now, this was a conscious decision to not give you a whole host of matching hearts, but instead start bringing that edge in where we can and giving you different elements that are going to run through future releases as well. So this heart, of course, matches perfectly, and there's lots of elements in the baby collection that matches as well. So think of the rocking horse and the different elements where we took that detail and ran it through that collection. Not only were them squares and circles, so we're still building on that story, although we've moved on to a new collection. This one, 3 dies in there, giving you the separate inner, separate outie, and then of course your separate daisy edged frame. Then sticking within our Shabby Chic. Oh, actually we're going to go off on a tangent, because I want you to see there's lots to this collection. It's not just Shabby Chic, there are other bits coming in. We're going to go back and we're going to add to our musical collection within this release, because to me, Shabby Chic, romance, a harp is the perfect musical instrument for that release. So we're going to go back to our musical collection and we're going to add a harp into that set. And you're going to see us do this lots. You've already seen it before. You're going to continue to see it. If we feel that we can add more to a previous collection, even if it's a year down the line, 2 years down the line, we're going to. So we are adding the harp into the musical collection. Now, our very, 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 very first release that we did under Jamie Rodgers Crafts was the Essential Collection. And in the Essential Collection, we had 2 circle sentiments. And again, last week I teased you and I told you that we was going to be bringing you more. Well, today we are bringing you right up to date with the 2 latest designs. We've got Best Wishes and Happy Birthday to You. Now, these are the same size and dimensions as the original 2. We then went on, and I'm going back a while now, we then went on in the next release and we did Happy Christmas and Merry Christmas. These are going to work with those. So the outside edges, which come with these, will coordinate with the ones that you've got in there. And then because of you can see that the way we design, the way we move forward, everything kind of evolves. Everything tells a story. The edge that runs around the Best Wishes is the same edge, that lovely little picket edge, is the same edge as what you receive in your squares and what you receive in your circles. So again, we're trying to tie this in so that it's got another matching edge to it, another part that's going to coordinate. And then of course that edge also comes to you in your border. So it runs down the edge of the border as well. So we're continually adding to that collection. We're continually adding to that thread. So we're matching and making sure that everything coordinates. So maybe you've got these, maybe you're looking at that edge and you're thinking, well, actually, I'd like a circle sentiment to go with it. Well, this circle sentiment will not only bring you in the new word of Best Wishes, but it will give you that matching edge, which you could use for Happy Birthday. You could use for the previous ones that we've loved, that we bought you before, the birthday we bought you before, the Merry or the Happy Christmas. So then we move on to something I'm really excited about. We have got Shabby Chic Collection Vintage Fob Watch Stamp and Die Set. Now, we've bought you Cuddly Clown before, haven't we? And we'll talk more about this later if I remember. But we've bought you Cuddly Clown before. Cuddly Clown has stamps in it, it has dies in it, and it's our way of making it a really good value way to bring you a stamp and die set all in one pack. We've not altered the sizes of these packs before, and they've always retailed for $19.99. This is our first experiment at bringing that price down and actually bringing you a couple of focal elements with dies to coordinate. And I'll be honest with you of why we've done this. We have bought you the main stamp for your fob watch. We've then bought you the main outside edge that goes around it. And because we felt there was value for money in adding more into that die, we've added in a rose element so that you get even more for your pennies, because that's what it's truly all about. But of course, the main focal is that beautiful fob watch and of course the die to cut it out. But that rose is very pretty and of course matches to the rose that you're going to find within the border and of course matches to the rose that you're going to find within the heart. So again, tying the story together, tying the collections together. We then move on and we're going to do some more stamps and dies. Stamp and die sets just like Cuddly Clan, but this time we are going all wee Parisian. Now our Parisian set has got in here the Eiffel Tower, it's got beautiful heart corners, it's got a postage stamp, it's got lots of different words, I'll read those out in a minute. Then you've got your tags to go with it, which have got good luck, I love you, bon voyage, that's all going to fit on them. And of course you've got the dies to cut these elements out, they're all the bits you've got the dies to go with. On your sheet, not only do you get that lot, you've also got bon voyage, Paris, good luck, Carte Postale, which probably is not pronounced anything like that. How did that do?
Good,
oh, I got a little bit of a nod from the left.
You get a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10. And then you've got a few others as well. We're not going to attempt to pronounce them all. You have a special place in my heart, is very, very sweet. Be mine, I love you, Valentine. So again, trying to get you to carry through the whole collection and work for you. Now you're going to spot this and you're going to see it in the DT samples. Because you've got that part and you've got that part, you are there to create in your very own postcards. And I'll show you what we mean when we get to looking at the samples. But that set, really, really fun to play with. Then we're going to finish this collection off. We're going to finish this off with the last element. We have got the Shabby Chic Collection Rambling Roses. Now, rambling's always very good with me around, isn't it? I tick that box for us all. But this, of course, is another stamp and die set. So we have got a DL set of clear stamps, and then the dies to go in and cut out all of these components. Now this set, I'm going to be honest, I think is absolutely beautiful. I'm so pleased with how this set's come out. You're going to notice we've matched the fonts so that they run through in the same set. You're going to of course notice that the hearts and the flower corners coordinate perfectly with this set. We just couldn't fit them into this set, so we added them into this set for you. But it does all of course work together. In here you've got have a beautiful day, congratulations, happy birthday, you warm my heart, and thank you. That completes your Shabby Chic collection. So you've got a Rambling Rose, a Parisian Romance, a fob watch, a best wishes circle, a happy birthday circle, a harp, a rose harp, a rose border, and we've finished that off with our celebration keys. And then of course, you've got all of those amazing mats and layers to build up with and work with that set too. That completes the Shabby Chic release for January 2026. Panicked then, we weren't in January either. Did you hear the fear in the January bit? I don't know if I don't know the year, I really should know the month, honestly. I'm going to need help one of these days. And then something we've snuck in as something that we've not done before, but is going to be available on Hobby Maker on Saturday. This is the first time we've done this. This is Crushed Velvet Assorted Pack. There is 20 sheets in here. I'm never very good at these, forgive me already, but there is 20 sheets in here, there are 10 colours, and you are going to receive 2 of each sheet. And this was something that's been requested, was a way to get your hands on all of the different colours without having to buy packs of every single colour. So it gives you 2 sheets of each one of them to have a little try with, see if you like them. If you fall in love with them, then of course you can come back and you can get your 10 packs. The value works out, I believe, exactly the same, but we'll talk prices in just a moment.
Better value to buy.
Better value. Oh,
absolutely.
Better value, even better.
Like
So this
treat.
again is going to be available on the shows come Saturday. So that will be Hobby Maker 1 PM and 5 PM. Now, do we have any questions before we delve into the samples and the bits?
Yes, a few. Kathy was asking, Julia's replied, thank you Julia. She was just asking how and where they can buy the items you're showing.
Thank you very much, Julia. So everything that we've just run through is going to launch semi-exclusively on Saturday on Hobby Maker. The semi bit is because not only is it going to be on Hobby Maker exclusively, it will also be with Gwen on her demo day at Unicorn Crafts in Sheffield. So if you're in the Sheffield area, pop along to Unicorn Crafts and Gwen will be demoing with this complete collection as well as a couple of other bits and bobs to give you some inspiration with it. But if you're distance from Sheffield and can't make it into store, then have a little eye on Hobby Maker, because I'll be on at 1 PM and 5 PM, and of course you'll be able to get it on there. Then the following week we will launch it with our stockists all around the world. So if you wish to wait, you can wait, but if you want to get your hands on it first, then Hobby Maker or Unicorn Crafts is your place to be on Saturday. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, from Mary.
Hello, Mary.
Mary from Bedford, I think, isn't she? How long is the edge, Jamie? So I think that was on your border die.
The border. Okay. Can we chat sizes? Oh, I'll find it. Wait there. Give me 1 second. I can find it on here. It is 8.1 inches, so it's perfectly sized. You can do your 8x8 cards, but of course it'll fit on an A4 as well. Okay. And it'll still go through your A5 machines too. Any other questions?
There was, where are we? Angela Webster says, are we getting ovals and rectangles? So I don't know if you mean in that.
Do you mean in these? Because if so, ovals and rectangles are both already available.
I didn't know she meant in the lace finishes,
Oh,
possibly.
the
I
laces.
don't know.
I could never confirm or deny what might be that in the distance. In the very distance. Maybe. Maybe. All I'm going to tell you is it is my favourite edge I've ever worked with, and anywhere I can sneak that in, we're going to sneak it in. And as we go through the year, and maybe even next year, because I've got quite a few ideas for this, we'll still be adding to that library. And this is what we're about as a brand. If we can add to a library and we can bring you more, and it means that the things that are in your stash already, if we keep adding to that theme, that collection, you're going to be able to bring it out time after time and give it a new lease of life, because we're all guilty of bringing things in and then kind of popping them in a drawer and moving on to the next thing, aren't we? I hate that idea. I really don't like that idea. I don't like it in my own room. So if we can make sure all of them goodies are constantly in circulation, that's our aim. And I know that might sound odd for a company because we should just want you to always move on and buy the latest gadget or the latest idea. But that you've got to, I don't know, to us, we've got to build that library for you. We've got to let you enjoy the bits you've got as much as bring you new things to inspire you. Kind of our mindset, our ethos.
Absolutely. Angela does say yes, please, to the lace. So that's that one.
I know
can
nothing.
Neither confirm nor deny.
I know nothing.
Kathleen, also asked, will the assorted pack of crushed paper also be available from stockists?
It will be, yes. So our stockists will go later. I'm going to put Pete on the spot again because I haven't dealt with this, and I think Gwen might. Yes, actually, and the answer to this is Unicorn got that packet of paper heading to them for Saturday.
They don't.
Oh, can they?
They can.
You need to put them in a box, Peter.
I think there's some more goodies heading their way. So.
There is some more goodies. Okay. Any more questions?
There was. I was trying to think now. Where are there's lots of comments. Thank you all for
We
joining
like
us
comments.
tonight.
Thank you.
Tracy's hopped in, but Pamela was just asking if there's any stockists in Canada. Top of my head, I think there's
Paper and Ink Boutique are one of our biggest stockists in Canada. There is 2 or 3, I believe, on the stockist list, but I think Paper and Ink Boutique are probably the ones that order the most regularly and probably carry the biggest collection.
The biggest range, aren't they?
Yeah, but all of our stockists, wherever they may be in the world, are always welcome to order more items from us if they wish to. Just let them know what you're after, and I'm sure they'll be able to order them in for you if they haven't already got them on order or planning to have them. Any more? Can we chat?
I think that's all good.
We'll just jump on in if there's any that you come up with. So these are our plain hearts. To give you an idea, we'll run through sizes. The largest is 7.9 by 7.9 in inches. Each of the hearts, recommended retail price is $29.99. We're just going to do a little flash through of the boards just so you can see a little bit about these. So all $29.99, all pretty much around the same sizes. So around the 8 by 8 mark takes you to the largest. This one, of course, is the decal with the stitch element to it. And we've done this one on the board here to show you that those stitch lines don't actually cut away from your card. They will stay in your card. So, of course, that means like here, you can make some really beautiful patterns in your cardstock if you wish to, or, of course, into your die cuts and trim them out. You can, of course, bring in the plain ones like the board below and actually cut these out as well so they have apertures in them too, and you could do that at whichever stage you wanted to. But you can use one line, you can use all of the lines, the choice completely is yours. Then we move on and we've got the scalloped and the pierced. So same idea again, but of course we've gone for a different edge and we've gone for a different line to give you a different pattern. Don't forget that this pierced line can of course be interchanged with that stitch line, so you've got more value for money because you can intermix. So you might want a pierced decal or you might want a stitch scallop. 2 sets creates 4 different options in interchanging the lines, and then of course we can leave them without the lines. So you've got 6 different options by buying 2 sets. That's where your value for money comes in. Then we move on and we've got the fluted. So the fluted are the ones now that have got this really lovely, beautiful dash to them. Again, you can see that possibly a bit bolder here on this board, that actually just creating that effect in the background. It's really, really lovely. And then we move on and we've got our postage ones. So again, different line size running around those ones, but of course giving you that postage edge to wrap around them as well. When we're talking travel, when we're talking shabby chic, that postage element really works beautifully. And I know we did just touch on this slightly, but these kind of edges or these kind of styles, so your fluted, your plain, your scalloped, your decal, all of those 5 options are currently available in squares, circles, ovals, rectangles, octagons. Have I missed any? I think that's all of them. And tags as well, and now the hearts. So we really are building that library out, and we do it intentionally because when you come to mat and layer your heart, maybe you're going to go for a smaller one. To be able to use that with the matching frames running through is going to look really lovely. I'll show you that when we get to some samples because I've got some that I'm going to be able to share with you. So let's bring these in. Swapping over sides, give me 1 second. and we will have a little look at a few samples with those. So as always, an absolute huge thank you to our DT. They work so hard to bring us all of this incredible inspiration, and they've really gone to town with this collection. Here's one by Diane. Now Diane, you can see, has used the smaller hearts with the pierced details running around them to make this top part. Behind that, she's used the scallop circles, and not only has she used the scallop with the pierced, she's used multiple pierced circles, just like we was chatting about with those hearts, to make that really lovely connective element running underneath these hearts. Doesn't that look effective? She's then used the pierced element with the plain circles to trim out around the edge, and then you'll also notice the fluted squares putting in the background. This lovely little bit of foliage comes to us in the Rambling Rose set, and of course so does our focal rose on each heart. And then in the centre here, you've got the happy birthday to you sentiment. So it just shows how a few of those elements really come together beautifully. Another one here from Diane, using the hearts and actually building up on those, adding in our Eiffel Towers, bringing around the edge there a beautiful bouquet of Rambling Roses once again. And then of course our sentiment for that one again is that happy birthday to you. And this is what I love, because again, maybe you're kind of one of these people that thinks hearts is for Valentine's, for weddings, for anniversaries. Isn't it lovely to see a heart with these birthday cards coming in so beautifully and just sharing that little element of love? Now this is beautiful, again sharing it with you at this stage because we're looking at the hearts, of course, creating the layers, but there's lots more going on this card. We've of course got our Rambling Roses being used over the background as a big background-esque stamp. We've got it running through the next layer of the heart. We've then got them cut and layered around the corner here as well. We've then got our fob watch coming in and being heat embossed on gold mirror card. That looks beautiful, doesn't it? That black embossing on top of mirror card, isn't that spectacular? Then you've got the little tag from the Eiffel Tower collection, and then behind all of this we've got a little bit of that eyelet heart coming through in vellum as well. Now this one's lovely from Siobhan. Siobhan has taken her hearts and built them up to make a 4-leaf clover, which of course ticks another occasion that we're going to be reaching for these hearts once again, and I thought that was a really lovely idea. Then we move on and we've got this beautiful one again from Siobhan. Siobhan's gone very vintage with this big, I always do this, MDF tag. I don't know why I feel I have to knock it just because it's MDF, but it's a very beautiful example about how we can go really truly shabby chic and very vintage and inspirational with this one. And you're going to notice that Siobhan has done so many lovely elements here. We've got the stamp going over the background here to create these sections. We've got our music stamp coming in. We've got our Latin script stamp coming in. She's then paper pieced this all back together. She's done some proper stitching, proper, not faux, proper stitching. She's also used some clear texture paste through our diamond stencil to add in some texture. There's so much work gone into this frame. I absolutely love this, or into this tag. Then she's used our dies to cut out the frame here, choosing to emboss one in an embossing folder, stamping on the one behind it with our music stamp, adding in that beautiful photo in the middle, and then of course bringing in the Rambling Roses to set that frame off. Doesn't that look absolutely spectacular? And I always love the idea with these tags, how these could be the fronts of little booklets, they could be brag books, they could be journals, they could be all sorts. She's even decorated the reverse for us too, which is just stunning. Then of course we move on to another little one. This one's Wendy, if I remember rightly. Yes, Wendy. So Wendy has chose to use different heart edges running through here. So we've got the decal, we've got the scalloped, and we've got the postage, and then added stitches, pierce and small stitch running through them, and then trimmed out one of the hearts to just a little element at the bottom. And in Wendy's words, this was just a quick make to show you how you could layer your hearts together. And that's what actually a really lovely thing to kind of own and admit, because sometimes we do just need to make quick cards, don't we? And this is certainly a lovely way to make a big focal out of 3 die cuts instead of actually, you know, really having to spend the world of effort and time on creating something. Then we move on and we've got this beautiful one. Now this is done by Sharon. Sharon has created her very own easel card, and this is what we love with these kind of mats and layers dies, and why we take them up to the larger sizes, because it gives you the ability to actually construct out of them, which to me opens up a whole new opportunity of what we can be doing. Then we've got this one's done by Ian. So Ian's gone for a similar idea, again creating an easel, using the different hearts to create the different layers running through it, and also using the hearts to make his stepper at the bottom. You've got the Rambling Roses coming in on the corner here. You've also got that beautiful heart element coming in from the fob watch, that little bit that's in that set, working very nicely to go at the base there of that heart too. Then Christine. Christine is a sort of princess of C6 or A6. She makes these amazing little dinky cards that we absolutely love. We can't call her the queen because we hold that title for our lovely Françoise. Françoise is our definite queen of A6. But Christine, yeah, very close on sort of the pecking order for that title, and you can see why. She makes these incredible cards. You'll see lots of them throughout this evening, but both obviously on the same size footprint, but of course coming in with very different inky techniques, stenciling techniques, and creating these beautiful features using those nesting shapes of hearts once again. So even if you are into dinky small cards, there's a heart size in there for you. Then we'll move on to this one. So this is one of the ones I'm planning to demo on Hobby Maker. So bringing in, of course, daisy edge squares, bringing in our hearts, layering these up with the plain and the scalloped and the stitch elements, popping on the harp, this flower and these swirls by Sue, they will also be available on the shows on Saturday too, along with our metallic inks, which is what I've used to stamp and to colour and distress around the edges of these layers. So these two are on a bit of a cheeky offer come Saturday, so you might wish to keep an eye out for those two. And it's a mix and match offer, which is always lovely because it's a great time for you to be able to add to your stash. This one, again, building up on those layers, another one I'm hoping to demo if we get a chance at some stage. This one, again, using just the pierced elements from the hearts, creating this radiating background coming out the back. It gives me firework vibes. I think it's because it's the Eiffel Tower, because we're used to seeing it all lit up and looking very, very pretty. Actually filling out that back area to it with these hearts, I felt worked quite nicely. I've then used our new paper pack to stamp onto and colouring in to make these two flourishes in the corners. And I've also used the twiddly bits from Sue that again will be available on Saturday. Okay, speaking of that paper, moving on to a few more samples with this. So this, of course, is our crushed velvet paper. Peter, I don't have a little tab for this. How much is the pack of paper, please?
Pack of paper is £8.99.
So £8.99, 20 sheets. So what are we looking at per sheet for that then? Come on, Carol. Whip out your mathematical talent 45. And let me know. 45 pence a sheet, very nice. So here we have it being used and stamped on once again, not only for the roses this time, but also for the fob watch. Then we've got some more of our hearts running from underneath, and of course that picket edge square coming in from the original baby collection of the daisy edges. Then we move on to this one. So again, paper being used for the layers, being stamped on here with a script stamp, being stamped on with a fob watch and with the flowers, and of course in the background. And this time for the flowers, I went for the really lovely mint green colour that's actually in the paper pad, because sometimes we think about stamping, we tend to think we're going to stamp onto white, we're going to stamp onto creams. Actually stamping onto the colours was a really lovely idea. I've got another card, hopefully I'll share it with you at some stage, where I've stamped on the kind of salmony burgundy colour from in the pack. Not that that's really the right name, I forget what we've called it. Apologies, but it looks really lovely because the roses are then coloured ready and your alcohol markers can still colour over to add in the green for the foliage. Moving on to this one. So this one's got the key on it, it's got the 21 on it. It's of course got the stamped flowers once again on top of that beautiful paper. And you can see I've used the fob watch to stamp the background. It's quite a big stamp, but there's no reason why we can't use it as a background stamp as well. So I've just stamped it multiple times using once again the silver lining from the metallic inks.
Quick question from Evelyn. Evening, Evelyn. Evening. Can you tell me the colour of the blue harp card, please? Is that the Creative Expressions, the Foundations blue card, possibly?
Maybe.
Is that the square card you had?
I don't know. I will have a little look. So give me 1 second.
Him now, look.
So blue heart card.
Harp. Sorry.
Harp. No, so fine. It's me.
A square card.
I'm being deaf, aren't I? I do that. Oh, this one. It is Lake Blue.
It's lovely, that.
So blue, yeah, it is beautiful, isn't it? If you didn't see it even, last week we did a demo with this colour card and we did a birdcage card with it. That was really, really pretty. So you might wish to have a little look at that. But it is, as I say, Lake Blue from Foundations. Off the top of my head, it's 300 GSM. It's one of the thicker ones, but beautiful for die cutting into flowers as well as mats and layers. But yeah, one of the newer shades from Foundations. Okay, onto our harp. This is, of course, is our harp cutout. So one die in this set. Not only is it going to cut, I'm going to go in really close and see if the camera is going to pick it up for us. Not only will it cut for you, it's also going to deboss. So you get lots and lots of detail running all the way around that one. So you can, of course, highlight it with your inks. You can go in with your gilding waxes. It's going to look stunning. Size-wise, 2.8 by 4.2 inches. Recommended retail price is $9.99. This cut from Miri Card, I felt was rather yummy, rather impressive. So here it is cut from some gold Miri, just to give you a little glimpse of what that's going to look like. I've added the flowers in as well that is going to be available on Saturday's show. There's Sue Wilson's flowers, lovely pierced flowers. I forget the full name of those, but they'll be available on Saturday's shows. You'll also see the nesting hearts coming through and the 18, which comes from with the keys. And this, of course, is an easel card, so it can kind of stand proud and kind of 3D. Hoping we'll demo that at some stage. Ian's used the harp here, and I love the way he's done his flowers. How arty are these? So he's heat embossed them in gold. This, of course, is the Rambling Rose, heat embossed in gold, and then painted in. Don't they look spectacular? Then you've got the Happy Birthday to You, and you've got the key, and of course, the little padlock. Then another one from Ian, and this just shows how versatile an image like the harp is, how you really can take it off in different directions. Very dark and moody in this one, very beautiful. Then we go very sort of candy pink and pretty, which is really, to me, very, very opposite ends of the spectrum, but both working so beautifully. And the harp this time, he's gone for that kind of ivory look, which is just stunning, but added that gold shimmer over the top to give that little deboss a really nice look to it. You'll also see the music stamp being used in the reverse of this. You'll also see our flowers, our foliage coming in. We've got a little key inside there, and that border being used down the edges, not only of the outside of the card, but also down the inside of the card as well. So just give that little peekaboo effect of the green, which of course matches in with the floral vine stamp. And don't miss the rose running down here as well. The other parts of that border die, subtly kind of just bringing in that extra layer, that extra little bit of detail. Then we've got one from Diane. Now, how spectacular is this? Again, similar components. We've got the Rambling Rose, we've got the harp. We've also got the paper being used, or actually this isn't the same paper. This is our linen texture paper, I lie, forgive me. But our linen texture paper being brought in here to make the little envelope out of. We've got the rose that comes with the fob watch going across the top there, and we've got the rose border going down the side. You'll also see lots of the stamps being used in the background to build up that texture and that depth. Very, very effective. Then we've got one here from Siobhan. Again, showing size and scope from this. We've gone from a big 8x8 card right the way down to a smaller card. Again, cutting out from some metallic card the harp, and then stamping those Rambling Rose stamps over the background. Now, it might just be me, but sometimes when I'm using a stamp and die set, I kind of think I have to do both elements. I have to stamp it, I have to die cut it. It's so lovely to see how many of the DT have been using them as background stamps as well. It doesn't have to always be die cut, it doesn't always have to be built up. Now this one again is another one from Siobhan. So Siobhan's again added the harp on. She's done some lovely layering with some embossing behind it. She's stamped the music stamp. She's put up a little flower to go on the corner. Very, very elegant, very effective. Reminds me of something, you might not love your music teacher. You might want to change that out. But wouldn't this be a lovely card for a music teacher? Just gives that really kind of classical, elegant, I don't know, I love it. I think it's beautiful. And then you've got one that I did, just sticking to some monochrome black and whites. Again, bringing in the hearts, bringing in the tab, bringing in the harp, bringing in the flowers, stamping in the script stamp. The script stamp is also going to be available for you on Saturday's shows too. Then this is cool. This one is done by Wendy. Wendy has brought the harp in. She's made it the central element to her hearts. She's added the Rambling Roses, the best wishes in the top corner. And then from the architectural collection, she's brought in the church, which I absolutely love. Stamped it in this subtle grey, which matches in so beautifully with the card that she's chose to use for her card blank. And it just gives wedding vibes, doesn't it? It gives elegance. It gives love and luxury. Just very, very pretty. Then we've got another one here done by Wendy, and Wendy this time's cut from silver Miri card and used a black stays on ink pad to just stress over the top of that heart and tone it down. Now, one of the bits I am going to point out with this that I really liked is the way that Wendy has used her circle sentiment die to cut in and stay in her heart die cut. Don't forget, we give you all of those edges with those dies, so you choose if you cut it in, cut it out. It's all up for the play. You can do as you wish, but it just gives you the ability without the free dies or from the free dies to use it in different ways. Any questions about the harp so far, Peter, or can we move on to best wishes?
No, it's all good. Michael just asked if we've showed the new dies. We have, but we will recap on the dies later and run through them all again.
Michael, where have you been? You are forgiven. Do not fear. As Pete says, we will run through them a little later on, I promise. So then we move on to Best Wishes. So Best Wishes is, of course, one of our circle sentiments. This one is only $7.99, and considering we received 3 dies in that set, there's an awful lot going on in here and a lot of options for just $7.99. So as Wendy shared with us on that previous card, you can cut them in and you can leave them in your cardstock if you wish to. You have the plain circles, you can cut them out. You can make a backing plate. You can cut out your circle sentiment with that plain edge if you wish to. Or you've got a patterned edge, and the patterned edge once again can be used as a layer to go underneath these, or of course you can cut your wording directly into them to give you this beautiful effect here. But this edge will of course interchange with the other circle sentiments previously released and the one that we're bringing you today as well. Now here is one where I've just nested the Best Wishes inside the daisy edge lace circles. Here is another one, and this is a card I'm going to demo for you at some stage, I promise. I'm going to hopefully do this on Hobby Maker, but it's just a little fold out card, and I've just kept it very plain, very simple, using the edges as edges, using the actual lace edge style and then the rose element in there as well. And then I've just added the Best Wishes on the top, and I've done that on 2 pages. You could add more detail into this if you wanted. You could add more pages into this if you're somebody who enjoys making little albums or journals. This could be every page decorated with that style, a tab to it, and you could have those as the edges running all the way through your booklets, or you could change them up by changing this outside edge if you prefer. Then another one sticking to the same kind of layerings, we're sticking to circles, so it's nice to be able to layer within the circle family. So of course we've gone back once again to this same set, which will be available for you on Saturday, and I've just used a couple of those in different shades and added on our Rambling Rose to the corner. This one done by Ian, keep it very simple, very elegant. Little small 5x5-ish, I should imagine, card. Added the sentiment into the middle, brought in the corners to go into, of course, the corners. But in the opposite corner, so it isn't too corner heavy, he's built up these beautiful rose elements coming out using the Rambling Rose set. And then we've got one again from Christine, a little princess of A6. And this time she's used the Best Wishes on some vellum. She's done another inky background and she's added in our lovely Rambling Roses running across it. And what's really pretty is she's brought in the edger to create a little tab across the bottom, that little beautiful edgy look going on there too. Okay, we will move on to Happy Birthday.
Indeed. Quick question from Diane.
Evening, Diane.
Can you just tell me the size of the die? I believe it's going to be the circular die that she's referring to.
These ones are 3.2 by 3.2 is your largest, and that's in inches to give you an idea. Now the next one will be fractionally smaller just because if this one's got a little bit more room to allow for the aperture in that lace edge than we've got on the scallop. So the scallop one will be 3.15 by 3.15. So yeah, just slightly smaller than the Best Wishes. But the insert, the actual inside element to it is the same size, so you can interchange them between them if you wish to. If that wasn't the right die, Diane, please let us know which die it was you would like to know more about, and I'll read out the measurement for you. Happy Birthday, once again recommended retail price $7.99, 3 dies in this set, just like the previous one. Cut it in, cut it out with a plain edge, cut it out with a fancy edge, interchange your fancy edges throughout the sets if you prefer. It's just kind of a no-brainer, isn't it? It's one we all need. The birthday ones are always going to be the most popular because 9 out of 10 of us make more birthday cards than just about anything else. But we've got you covered because we also do it with love. We also do a different version of Happy Birthday. We've now got Best Wishes, and of course you've got Happy Christmas and Merry Christmas, all in circle sentiments. And again, this is something that we've been requested that we bring you more versions of. So I'm sure throughout the year we might add in a couple more too. Just a few here of the Happy Birthdays being added on with a couple of the different components as we run through them. Here I've used the rose border and I've actually embossed it instead of cutting it out. So it's just a nice subtle background. Here we've got another one from our lovely Christine, adding in the circle sentiment and then bringing in that element that comes with the fob watch. And then lastly, is this one done by, this one's Ian. Of course it is, so Ian has used the rose border going down the side and then added those little displays of roses in the top corner and the bottom corner as well to really break that up. Isn't that lovely? I really like that. I like the shades of purple and lilacs being used throughout that one. And then moving on, we will have a little look at our key set. So our key set is $13.99 recommended retail price. In this die set, you receive 7 dies, but there's more to it than meets the eye, because of course we get free keys, we get free padlocks, but our numbers die actually is going to cut for you the 21 and the 18 all in one go. And that just means that we're getting more value for money and of course quicker die cutting ability. So 21 or 18, or I have a sneaky suspicion one of these cards will show you how you can use all of them together, and it isn't to send it to somebody who's 218. Now this is the card that I've created with them, bringing in our silver keys. Now our keys have been cut here from white card and they've been coloured again with a silver lining ink pad. This is another one I'm hoping I'm going to demo for you on Hobby Maker. I say that a lot, we're never going to get to demo all of them, are we? I know, I apologise in advance, but what we don't do on air, we'll probably do on next Monday's Monday Night Natter. So join us then for even more inspiration with this collection, when we then start to talk about Stockie's launch. Now in here, not only do we have the keys, we've got some padlocks hanging down, we've got the flowers that will be available on Hobby Maker, and we've got Sue's beautiful twiddly bits which come from the Valentine's Romance collection, that was called, wasn't it? Not Valentine's, Romance collection, which come out just before Christmas. And of course 21 nestled down here on the corner too. Now let me grab some more of these. Hope you're all still awake. I told you we've got lots of inspiration this evening, so I'm hoping you're enjoying seeing these cards. Then we've got one here from Sharon. I really like the way Sharon's popped the key going through the lock. I thought that was a great idea. Layered up with some of the hearts, and again some of the layers, brought in that lovely little heart element. Here's a beautiful one from Christine. Now I know that Christine's got a bit of a beautiful card coming up with this postage stamp die, so hold on in for that one if you will, because it's really, really pretty and effective. But I actually really like this one too, the way she's used the hearts to create frames, the focal points, and then actually tie them all of course in with the padlocks too, adding in that little postage stamp and the I love you to just break things up slightly. I love how even with small cards how much Christine packs into them. There's no area that you ever think, oh, that could do with a little something something. They're always absolutely beautifully done. Now this again done by Christine. She's used her dies to create an aperture. She's sunk in a stitched heart in there. She's then layered a heart in the middle. She's popped on the 21 and the keys with the wings on. And the wing key really was to again tie in with our steampunk collections that we've bought you previously. Now this is very lovely. I think this one's Ian, is it? Oh, Diane, of course. Now Diane has layered that rose border. We're going to get to that in a moment. She's layered that over the top of the eyelet lace heart. She's brought in the plain and the fluted hearts to layer up on top of it. She's added the key down here and of course the lock element to the set on the top there. And then of course added in that sentiment too. And she's done a bit of a cool trick here with her embossing powder to triple emboss over the top of that heart, and but yeah, adding cracks and details. Doesn't that look absolutely spectacular? Love that. And it really made the stage perfect for that little element to fit within it. Another one here from Diane, completely different, and this is what we love about our DT. You couldn't be more chalk and cheese, could you? And that's what it's all about. So this one again, going in for some really lovely metallic tones, adding in around the edges to this beautiful cog embossed panel, which has got the postage edge squares cut around it, and then on each of her little kind of tabs she's built these up. She's layered the die cuts a couple of times and then gone over the top to create that beautiful metallic effect. So we've got the keys and the locks running through those, and the 218, which is really lovely. It kind of gives a bit of a steampunky look to it, doesn't it? Then Siobhan has done something very effective. She has stuck all of her keys and padlocks down onto a piece of card and then gone over the top with her inks to actually highlight them and give a faux embossed effect, which I thought worked really, really lovely. She then added the 21 in the corner and the happy birthday circle to finish it off. But I don't know about you guys, but this to me also could be very easily turned into a new home card. It's got that kind of vibe to it, hasn't it? Change up the sentiment, maybe add in a little focal of a little house, maybe one of Sue's village collection houses, and you could really give that a different vibe quite simply. Now this is really lovely. I think this one's Sharon. Oh, it's Wendy, I'm sorry. Wendy has used her square dies to cut out her actual card blank to give that beautiful edge running around it. She's then used the next ones down to build up the layers, and that of course is toning in perfectly to the hearts as well, adding in the key and the lock to finish that one off. Now let's shuffle this pile out of the way, just a couple more to go with these, and then we'll be moving on to the rose heart. So this one again, showing you how you could pierce through your decorated hearts and add the padlock through them, adding in the key on the edge there as well, using the stamp that's coming up from one of the stamp and die sets. And then Wendy's been very creative here, adding in this kind of travel-y, steampunky effect, very vintage, very cool, adding the keys in and the locks around the fob watch, and of course the happy birthday to you on the top here. Really like this, very kind of shabby chicy vintagey look, very, very cool. Kind of got a bit of a time travel-y vibe to it as well, which is really nice. Now this one is the one that I wanted to, we get little notes. We love the little notes. Let me try and read you the little note. So the 218 in the top corner here, let's see, what does Wendy say? The number 218 is an angel number which generally signifies a message of abundance and prosperity coming your way, urging you to maintain positive thoughts. She looked it up to confirm it, so hopefully we're on the right path, which I absolutely love. Isn't that a great idea? To actually be able to add that on and use it in its entirety if you wish to. But of course you don't have to. It makes perfect 21, 18, 81, 82, 28. I feel like we're playing bingo now. Okay, moving on to our rose heart, if there's no questions just yet. Now our rose heart, this one is beautiful. It is a recommended retail price of $16.99. The largest die within the set is 5 inches by 5 inches to give you a size guide. And this set, of course, with its 3 dies, has a lot of options. We can take the eyelet lace edge. We can then take the main slatted rose effect, and we can cut those together if we wish to create such effect. We can of course use them independently if we prefer, and when we talk about that lovely slatted heart in the centre, we can cut it out with the outside edge which comes with the set if we wish, or we can of course leave that directly in our card because that outside edge is not attached. That gives you the ability to cut the outside edge in a different colour if you wish to, and pop it behind it in whichever way you prefer, or of course you can use that outside edge to cut open that lace edge and create some really pretty frames. As a scrapbooker, this excites me a lot. How beautiful is that? To be able to add my photos behind that would look really lovely. So let's show you some cards. Now I know you've seen lots of these, but let's bring in a few more to tease you with. Now this is one of mine I'm hoping to demo at some stage. Bringing in that rose corner, bringing in the fob watch, bringing in the rambling roses running around the edges, and of course using that heart just as a kind of backing plate, a stopgap to build up on top of. Then we've got one that Ian has done here. Ian's made it his focal, he's built that up, he's added on that slatted heart and raised that so you've got some real depth going on. You're also going to notice this border coming shortly in the border set, and we've got hearts on each of the corners. Now Siobhan, this is beautiful. Siobhan has gone in and used the slatted heart element, and then she has paper pieced this back in. So all of those roses look quilted. They're really puffy and beautiful. That is such a stunning effect, and I'm sure not easy to do. It's going to have taken her a few moments to do it, but easy in how she's achieved it. And doesn't that look yummy? And then we move on, and I've got one that I've done here, again bringing in that lake blue card, teaming that with some of the grey card, and I did borrow Siobhan's idea here of popping the keys down on the background plate so that it looked like they'd been embossed on it. We did an unboxing video for our retailers, and we shared Siobhan's cards in that, Siobhan's beautiful cards, so we unboxed them and did a little video for our retailers to give them a little sneaky at what was coming. So I see some of Siobhan's and I was like, I really like that idea, I'm going to borrow that, so I've borrowed it for here. So thank you for that idea, Siobhan. So what it's all about though, isn't it? As a DT, as a company, as our lives, it's all done to inspire ourselves and of course you guys at the same time too. It's all about sharing those ideas. So here we have an easel card created with that eyelet lace heart with of course the slatted heart in the middle, and the border being brought in to use as a stopper across the bottom here. And this is why I wanted this element, because I love an easel card and I love the idea that this is going to coordinate with the heart, with the circle, with the square to tie it all together. Or maybe it's going to be the rocking horse we pop on here, or the pram that we put on here. It could be any of those elements where that matching edge runs through and coordinates perfectly. So that one's oh no, there's more. I was moving on. Forget that, there is more. Sharon's done this one where she has layered just the element in the middle here and used one of my previous dies in the corners to actually show a bit of a different style to it. Christine has brought this in and popped it onto one of her smaller cards, showing how we don't always have to use all of the die. We can of course trim it down if we wish to work on a smaller footprint. She's then added the key and the lock on here and the You Warm My Heart. She's also used the sentiments to stamp the backing paper too. Very, very effective, and I love how that white and pink plays together. Diane has blown us away. We have another MDF tag. Look how glorious this is. So not only has Diane cut and created her own lace edge from our papers, she's then ruffled it up and truly made it very lacy. Also just stressing it as she's gone round. That is spectacular. Whether that was the top of a box, whether that is in an album, whether that is in a journal, whether that is in a tag or a card, that is just a really beautiful element. Team that with the Rambling Roses and all of these layers that she's created running all the way through it. That is such an expensive, luxurious looking tag that I am absolutely in love with. Thought that was beautiful. And again, we chatted about this when we looked at the last tag, but that could of course be a piece of home decor, that could be the front of a journal, it could be the front of an album, it could be so many things where it's on that MDF element. Then this is a bit special. Let me bring this in. So this is made by Wendy, and Wendy has created us a little box. We do love a fancy box. So the lid of course comes off to reveal the box. On the top of the lid there we have got the postage edge heart being used as the lid. We've then got our beautiful daisy edged heart running around it with our slatted heart being used on top of that. When we go to the box, you're going to notice that we have got that edge coming in running all the way around with that beautiful red rose being added over the top of the gold, and the gold being cut with both of the outside edges from in the set that we're going to look at next. So let's pop all this one back and grab the next one. So this one is, and this is just 4 more to go, including this one that we're coming up to, and then I promise we'll do a demo. So this is our rose border. So there's 3 dies in this set, recommended retail price $14.99. Now on the front of the packaging, we have tried to show you a few of the ways in which you're going to be able to use this, but do not think that is all of them. There is way more. So here is a little glimpse at a few ideas of what you can be doing with this. So, of course, we can take our rose element, we can use it on our own. Now that is going to stay in your cardstock. So we've chose to trim it out here for our board. You don't have to. That could be multi-cut. You could have little gaps between them. You could leave it in there if you wanted to. You could extend it down further if you prefer. The choice is yours. Then you have got next to that a lovely daisy edge that can be used completely independently. Again, it's going to stay attached to your card from this side in. So this side's going to cut away, the rest of it's going to stay on. So if you wanted to take your card blank and actually make it the edge of your card blank, you can do that. This one, the little like picket edge style lacy edge, has added a little bit to it, a little bit more depth to it. But again, that can stay perfectly on your edge. It's wide enough that you could thread ribbon through it if you wanted to. You don't have to, it's very pretty on its own. But a little 3mm ribbon could run through that quite nicely. This edge can of course be used on both sides of our rose to create this effect. This edge can be used on both sides of our rose to create this effect. Or you could use one or the other to create this effect. But what we've not even shown you on this board is how, if you imagine that bit there, was actually the edge of your card, because of, don't forget, there's nothing cutting away here, so that bit is going to stay in place with this attached. The next one is going to stay in place with that bit and that bit attached. So we've taken them and cut them as strips. You don't have to, they can stay in place. So this set at $16.99 with those 3 dies in it opens up a whole world of possibilities. Here is just one example I've created, and again one I'm hoping to demo with you at some stage. Very easy to do. I've just put a little tube in the middle, a little pillar as I like to call them, and I've taken a big piece of card and I've cut in that daisy edge and our rose edge, and then I've gone to the other side of that piece of card and I've flipped it around and I've cut it again, and then I've used that measurement in the middle, the bit that's left, to create my card around. And then of course this folds down flat. Now it does overhang the edge. You could shrink that bit in the middle if you wanted to, but it would still fit in an 8x8 envelope because I haven't gone bigger than 8x8. I made a little inch pillar in the center there, and then I've decorated the reverse with the matching hearts so that the lace edge matches the lace edge running down the sides. And of course under here is completely open, so you could add vellum in there if you wanted to soften it. You could add your patterned papers behind there. You could add your fancy backgrounds if you prefer. Now sticking with this set, here is a lovely one. Now this one is done by our Sharon. Sharon has cut out some circles. She has added in that rose element from the fob watch, but it's all about this bit here down the side where she's chose to take this edge and actually put them looking at each other and run a ribbon down the middle of it. Very fancy. Then we move on and we've got a little box from Sharon. Now, I think there's something in the box. We'll dig in a second. But on top of the box, Sharon has used that edge to run round. She's then used her decor edge and fluted edges to create these 2 panels running through the Mats and Layers collection. Stamped on the top one, added a little ribbon. Ah, look at this. So Sharon has also used some tissue paper and stamped on it with the matching stamps. And then when we dig inside, what have we got in here? That's a little bookmark holder with a rose that's been done on shrink plastic, very effective. Here is some little earrings. How cute are these? Earrings cut out with shrink plastic and put onto a matching card. Then what have we got? We've got a little key ring with little shrink plastic roses hanging from it. Oh, look at this. Oh, how cool is this? A little fob watch on shrink plastic. Now, if you're making to sell, look at that as a box set. Look at that as individual elements that you could be charging for and creating a whole little array of a collection, all coordinating perfectly. And then having the gift boxes on your stand to coordinate perfectly with the rest of the collection. That is amazing, Sharon. I love that. What a clever idea. What a classy way to show how you could take one set, one release, and make a whole stand, a whole mini business, micro business around that one collection if you wanted to. Now this is gorgeous. This one is done by Ian. Ian has used the edge, but he's stuck it over the white card so it looks like it's been embossed. He's used the other edge on the other side, built up little hearts in the middle. Christine has brought in the vellum for this one and cut out that daisy edge on both sides, added a little ribbon down the middle, layered up on top of that, done some beautiful stamping in the background too. Then Diane has come in with those edges and she's showing you here how we can choose where we wish to cut it from. So leaving that nice chunky gap in the middle to build up on top of just by using that one daisy edge down each side of the card. In the middle here, she's built that up either side of the rose border and then built the rose border up. And again, showing you how those edges are going to coordinate through and how our roses are going to coordinate throughout the collection too. Added on the padlock and the key to give that little hint of gold, that little glimmer of sparkle and shimmer to that very romantic card. Then we'll move on. So we move, oh, there's more. There's still more. I need to remember to pick everything up. I'm not good at this, am I, this evening? Let's have a little look at these. So still within that set. So who have we got now? We have got Siobhan. Siobhan has chosen to emboss that edge going down here instead, using the edges with it and then going over the top with some wax to highlight it. Adding on the little picket edge on the opposite side, stamping in some roses in the middle to coordinate with that rose border. Now this is one of mine, and again I'm hoping that at some stage we might demo this. This is a store-bought card blank, nothing fancy, just a store-bought one. I've taken the die and I've cut it directly out of the front panel so that we have this lovely little aperture running through it. I've then chose to decorate the edges either side of it and build up on top of them. And that's what I love about an edger die, especially one that stays in or can be cut out on either side, because if you do just wish to make a focal strip with it, you can do that. And then lastly, we've got a lovely scrapbook page done by Wendy. So Wendy has brought in some of the layering hearts to create these effects, the daisy heart to make this effect, the Eiffel Tower stamps running through the back there as well. And then you can see she's extended her rose border to create the ribbon that runs right the way through the middle of the page. She's also used the little picket edge style border to go across the top here, and then added a ribbon through the top of it. Again, showing how that's going to work really nicely to add ribbons through it if you want to. Isn't that a beautiful page? We love that. Thank you, Wendy. Okay, then we move on to the samples for the stamps and die sets. So we have got the vintage fob watch set. So this one, of course, has got the big fob watch stamp in it. It's got the die to cut that element out for you. And then it's got the rose little flourish as well. Now this flourish is going to fit perfectly around the edges of this fob watch. So one set is going to open up quite a lot of opportunity for you if you just choose to come in for that one set. In there, 2 dies or 1 stamp set, and the recommended retail price for this set is $13.99. I'm going to go, I don't often try and compliment us, that's not my job, I just have to kind of stay impartial a little bit, but I think that's actually really good. $13.99 for quite a large stamp and the die to cut it out and a bonus die. If I was being honest, this part here, what do we think for that? $5.99? $6.99? Probably $6.99 that would be on its own, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
So if you was coming in for that bit, that's your first part of your $6.99. So that's going to make your stamp and your die to do your fob watch $6.99. That's That's silly. I like that. We like silly. We're here for silly. Silly is what makes us happy. Silly is what makes us believe that we bring you really good value, because we desperately try to do that everywhere we can. Beautiful card here. This one is done by Ian. Ian has put the fob watch in with the Rambling Roses, with the Eiffel Tower. He has gone stamp and die crazy. And he's used the wood grain stamp to make the panels in the background. Very, very beautiful. And then we've got the edge running down the side here. Very lovely. Diane, this is absolutely beautiful. What is it they say on Towie? This is a piece of me. This is a bit of me. This is a something like that, isn't it? Me trying to show them down with the kids.
Essex roots.
Back to the Essexness. This is me. This is absolutely beautiful. I would frame this. I would put it on a wall. I absolutely adore this. I love blue and white, and actually to see this come together with all of these layers. If there was a prize in my mind for card of the year, it would win it for me. I love it. It's beautiful. But it shows you how you can bring your fob watch in, how you can stamp that out, layer that up, add in the heart behind it, add on the roses to the corner. The I love you is stunning. The lovely effect that you've created here. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this is probably Crafty Concoctions being used to create the diamond glaze that's gone through there, or the glaze that's gone through the diamond stencil. Even the little rose corners in the edge there. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. All of your works, all of you have done amazing. But I do like that one. It's the white and blue, wins it for me. Siobhan has done this. Now this again is beautiful. This is giving me Tiffany's. It's that lovely shade, isn't it? That Tiffany box kind of bluey tealy. Very, very pretty. The rose corner coming in, that embossed fob watch looks so elegant. Actually cut out on a circle, very, very impressive. And then of course teaming that with the scallop circles of the pierced elements, very, very luxurious. Very simple one that I've done. I'm hoping that we might demo that one at some point or another, but very, very simple in honesty. Just stamping it out into a big background sheet, cutting it down. You see the other half of the sheet on one of the previous cards. This was the bit I was left with. Adding the little pocket locket in the middle of it. Then this one's nice because it shows you how you can tie your stamps together. So these, of course, are the corners which are going to come up in the Eiffel Tower set, matched in with the fob watch and just coloured in with alcohol markers. This time I've stamped the fob watch onto that beautiful paper and coloured it in. And then this is nice. This one's done by Wendy. Wendy's done this kind of swinging fob watch coming through the air and then added in the roses around the edge of it. And I like the way she's put the roses kind of like it's caught the fob watch. It's kind of there, isn't it? It's kind of encapsulated, which is very, very pretty. And then Sharon has done this one for us where she has used this little element from the die set, cut it out of the white card, cut it again in pink and sunk it back into it and then backed it with the gold heart. Very, very fancy. And then done some nice colouring with the rose stamps which are coming up behind it. So that's a little glimpse at what you could be doing with the fob watch set. Once again, recommended retail price for that on $13.99. And then we move on to our penultimate piece of the evening, our penultimate stamp set or die set or piece of the collection, part of the jigsaw. We are looking at the Rambling Rose set. Now the Rambling Rose set, we are right the way back up in size to a DL stamp set, and then of course all of those component dies. There is a lot in this set. That's a lot of dies, isn't it? There's a lot going on in here. There is 16 stamps and 10 dies, and this is that's a bit silly actually, isn't it? 26 items, and the recommended retail price for this set is $19.99. I made it even worse then, nearly. We don't want to go 99, do we? $19.99, and it's going to give you 26 items. So again, you've got your stamps and your dies all coordinating. Here's a little glimpse on a board of what that's going to look like for you, whether you choose to stamp them and leave them, or stamp them, of course, cut them out, and then you've got your sentiments to go alongside them. When we looked at some cards, this one's a beautiful one from Sharon, where she's used those stamps to make up a background. Another stunning card from Sharon here, where she's kind of gone through the different stamps, layered some over the Eiffel Tower, which we'll be looking at next. Another one from Sharon, where she's used the stamps all the way around a heart layer. Very, very pretty. Loving the colouring, Sharon. Then this one, again, picking out some elements to colour, some to stamp in different areas. Very effective. And another one, I don't know why I've got a run of Sharons here, but this is lovely because we're seeing all of these different creative ideas come from one person's very, very intelligent mind. Then we've got this one where Sharon has stamped the fob watch, then stamped the roses and coloured in the roses over the top of them. Very, very elegant. I like that. It's like a very fancy and expensive backing paper. Then we've got one here from Ian. Now I like this. I thought this was really lovely. Reminds me of a little cottage somewhere. I don't know why. Little romantic getaway cottage, maybe in the Cotswolds. I don't know. It could be me.
I would never be taken to.
Don't listen to it. Don't start with your sob stories now. You had Disney at Christmas. That's all you're getting. That's your one and done situation. I'm sorry. That's all you're having. Ian has been creating on the MDF, and I like this. This is like maximalism in a tag. It's got everything. The kitchen sink could be hidden here somewhere, and I love it. I'm here for it. We've got little metal embellishments running through in the background. We've got die cuts running through here. We've got little domes going on. We've got 3D flowers. We've got little keys and locks, ferns coming through, ribbons, bows. We've got everything I think Ian had to hand put on this, and it works, doesn't it? It is ultimately eclectic and it's beautiful. Thank you for all your work that's gone into that, Ian. Then Christine has been doing some dinky cards. Let's get these ones out of the way so we can see these. Look how stunning these are. Now, I often do this with Christine's. I tend to bring in a couple at a time because I think that actually it's when you see them all together, you can see just how intelligent she is and how she goes off on these different tangents, brings in different colours, different background techniques, but creates the most stunning results. And it's the little details, they're smaller cards, it's little details that really make them pop. So like these little lines that she's added around this one really gives a different look between the two. But her colouring on this one, absolutely exquisite. Really lovely, and the way she's stamped in the greens and then matched them into the sort of colours of the inks, stunning. Love them. Very, very effective. Then we move on and we've got another one here by Wendy. Wendy's brought the roses in and layered them up going across both pieces, and this is really lovely because you're seeing the main panel but being layered up, being added to. You don't have to use it just as one piece. Layer it. There's lots of sizes in there if you want to add to them. Then here's one I've done, and I have just been very lazy really, not overly complicated. I have die cut them out I've stamped them in black, I've die cut them out, and then I've attacked them with misters. These are our mica mists, and I've just let them dry, and then I've built them up using them as a background and as a little flourish on the side here. And then our last one from these ones done by Siobhan. Now this again, Siobhan, stunning. The colouring is beautiful. That white edge against that navy, absolutely divine. Of course, bringing in the roses and layering those around the side, stamping a happy birthday in the middle, and then just those little elegant gems being added throughout. Looks spectacular. Okay, moving forwards. On to our very last one, we have got the Parisian Romance set. So this one again, recommended retail price $19.99. When we look at it on a board, we can see there is lots going on here. We've got those beautiful stamped corners. We have got the Eiffel Tower, nonetheless. We've got lots of expressions as well. We've got that postage stamp element in our die sets. We've got the corner dies to cut these out. We've got the little edger to cut, or the little die to cut out the hearts. We've got the little tab, we've got the postage stamp, and of course we've got the die to coordinate with the Eiffel Tower. When we start bringing these elements together just like Christine has here, we can see not only can we use that Eiffel Tower element to cut out the Eiffel Tower, the die, we can also cut out a panel from a background and sink that stamped image inside it, which I thought was a very cool idea and looked very, very nice indeed. Now, moving forward, this is a bit wow. This is Sharon's. So here, we've got a little booklet. When we open the booklet, what do we find inside, I hear you ask? We find not one, not two, not three, but 4 postcards. When we flip these over, all of those details have been added in from this set to create her very own postcards. I love this. There's going to be another version of this come up shortly. But I love the way that our DT have thought about this and brought this together to make these little gift books, these little pockets full of inspiration. And I thought that was a really lovely, unique idea and way that you could be actually stamping these and creating some beautiful gifts to give. Again, when we're thinking about gifts, it's so lovely to be able to take our craft into gift giving as well. Now another one here by Sharon on an MDF, again bringing in the Eiffel Tower, bringing in the Rambling Roses. Now those postcards don't of course just have to be used as postcards. Ian shows us here how that postcard can be added onto the front of a card as a postcard, not being sent as an actual postcard. Bringing in once again the fob watch and the Rambling Roses running all the way around this one. Then we've got another one with the Eiffel Tower by Ian. Ian's chose to cut the Eiffel Tower out, sink it into a frame, add the roses across the base of it. Then another one from Ian. Ian has really gone to town with this. I love this one, Ian. That lovely soft blue works a treat, doesn't it? Especially teamed with the silvers. I like the way you've stamped the background to this using the sentiments. And then I really like the way you're building up the flowers across the base here of the Eiffel Tower. And actually seeing it here between the overlay with the pink and then the 3D flowers slightly lower down in blue really works a treat, gives you a couple of different ideas. Now this is spectacular. This is done by Diane. We're going lilacs, we're going purples. We've added the roses in at the bottom and the top and the postcard in as the central element. And this is actually really lovely because had we bought you a postcard stamp all in one, a lot of value and money would have gone into that one big stamp. Actually bringing in the components individually for you to choose to build up, A, brings down the value, and B, ups the creativity, because if you can add in your own elements, your own pieces, you're not stuck in a regimental way that has all been created for you already. Now the sunset behind this one that Siobhan has created is beautiful, and the way that she's added all of these stamped words running around the Eiffel Tower, very, very nice. This one again by Siobhan. Adore this one, Siobhan. This is very, very elegant. Again, we've got those blues coming through. We've got those stony shades coming through. We've got lots of layered stamping. There's lots of different stamps running through here. We've got a heart, we've got our keys, we've got our postage stamp, and of course, we've got the Eiffel Tower. Very effective. A very quick and simple one done by myself, just bringing in the Eiffel Tower, stamping that on, adding a script behind it, adding a few flowers onto the corner. Then we've got one here done by Wendy. Very, very cool the way that Wendy has threaded the Eiffel Tower through an open cut heart. Very, very nice. I like this corner being added to the corners. I also like the little postage stamp here, stamp being used on the top. Very, very elegant, very beautiful. Then we go on to another one, and this is nice. Wendy's created an MDF heart for us and placed on the Eiffel Tower this time with some hearts and some flowers. And I think it's in the colours to this one. This gives me kind of hang on a child's bedroom wall effect, which I like because it shows how we can take this out of romance necessarily and into home decor and into playfulness and into freshness and modernness, and it kind of tells a whole different story when we kind of start looking at it in that sense. So I think it's these cloud hearts, the way that you've created this texture on here with, of course, our white shard Crafty Concoctions texture paste, I believe, but it just gives different styles to me and I like that a lot. And then I'm going to move these out of the way so we can dig into the next couple of bits. So this is one that I was blown away with. This, of course, is done by Christine. And Christine has used our stamp die. That little die that you might overlook. You could often kind of glimpse past them and go for the big shiny ones that are in the set. But look what she has done. I adore this. Isn't that clever? And we talk of seasons and reasons and themes and colours and all of that lot. This could be a Christmas card. This could be Easter. This could be just about anything you want it to be. Once you've got that little stamp die, it's down to you what colours and designs you layer on top of that. Now, Christine has made all of these backgrounds. I recognise our stencils from the stencil vault coming through in several places. But you could take a patterned paper and add those to the tops of these postage stamps if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be as inky and creative as this if you don't want it to be. It could be crafted to whatever level of craft you wish to work with, and it could be whatever size you wanted it to be. If you wanted a smaller card, you could certainly snip away at that and go for small. You could even go down to a gift tag if you wanted, or of course we could go much, much bigger, build that up and maybe add some flowers to it if we've got a bit more room to play with. There's a lot you could do with such a small stamp. Then I've saved one of my favourite items to the last. This is done by Siobhan. Now we're going to dig into this, and I did warn you that there was a couple of these. Be prepared to go, ooh. Well, I did anyway. You might not, but I was oohing everywhere with this. Firstly, the outside is beautiful. That kind of starry night effect that she's created with her blending around that heat embossed fob watch is a bit of wow to me. Then when we open this up, so I know that we see Sharon's kind of version of this, which is lovely because it's nice to see different takes on it. But I love the way that she's created cards and envelopes this time, not postcards. And not only has she done cards and envelopes, in this pocket over this side, we've got all the sentiments stamped, distressed and ready to go on top of the cards. So you give the gift of giving handmade. You give the gift of creating your own cards, but without having to do all of the elements to them. That's in pocket number one. Great idea. Pocket number two, the stamps. I know she has thought of everything. Then once we move past the pockets, which of course are very important, very lovely and filled full of yumminess, but we then get to the cards. So each pocket contains our cards and of course our coordinating envelopes. Now the envelopes have all been stamped for us, not only on the front, but also on the back. So they're going to coordinate beautifully throughout, all ready to go. Ready to add that stamp onto, add that address onto, and they're good to go in the post. When we go to the cards, these of course have been designed beautifully in such a way that our sentiments are not going to overwhelm them. We can still bring in these sentiments and personalise them to each of these pieces. So you might wish to add on a "You warm my heart," "Have a beautiful day," "Thank you." And it doesn't matter where your recipient chooses to put these elements, it's going to work. And it's going to make it really easy for them. Now you could put tape on the back of these. You could of course add a little bit of foam on the back of them if you wanted to. But it's just a really lovely way to give that gift of being able to give handmade. And there are so many more of these in here. You could do some die cut ones if you wanted. But Siobhan has very cleverly and nicely stuck to the stamps that of course are available within these sets. But it just shows how really our only limit is our imagination. Because I don't know about you guys, but this isn't something I would have thought of to do. But what an incredible gift to be able to give somebody this year, especially if you belong to a craft club or you belong to any club. Maybe you're going to a flower arranging club or a baking club, somewhere where they love to do crafty bits or creative bits, but maybe not into the paper craft world. What an incredible gift to be able to give that and to be able to hand that over knowing that they've got at least 6 in this gifts to then be able to send out and give. You're not going to watch me tie a ribbon, nobody wants to do that. So that gives you an overview of what our incredible DT have created with this collection. Now I do want to genuinely say this from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of our DT for what you have created. The effort and time you have spent is miraculous, and I can't say thank you enough from myself and Pete. We couldn't do this without you guys, to be quite honest, so thank you very, very much for all your effort and hard work and in creative ideas, because that's the other thing. They're ideas that we don't all think of, and to be able to share them is genuinely one of the nicest parts of our job. And when these start to come through and we get to do lives like this tonight and share them with everybody, it's a dream come true. So thank you very much for all your hard work.
Lots of lovely comments from lots of people, including fellow DT, compliment each other's styles, and
we're very
thinking
lucky,
of ideas because they all have their own.
We have a team that are so, and you can see
diverse,
it, and I'm sure you guys can see it. They've all got their colour schemes, their ideas, their patterns they go to, their styles they work in. And that's why we have such a cool design team and why we have so many members, because everybody brings literally their own flavour to the party. And that to us is what's the most important bit, because it means you as a creator, you've got all of this to kind of pull from. And and I always say this, and I say this about my own work, you might not like it all. You might not like every colour. You might not like every size. You might not like every layout. You might think they're too heavy, too plain, too whatever. It doesn't matter. If you can pick one idea out of each project, one colour scheme, one placement, one die cut, one whatever it is, we've all done our job and we've inspired you, and that truly is what it's all about. So is there any questions, Pete, before we ramble on to our next bit?
No, none that I'm aware of. Comments did freeze for a little while, but I think we're all good.
We're back up and running, are we? Okay,
I
think I think I have managed, this isn't a guarantee, I think I've managed to keep everything separate. So I know Michael joined us late, so just in case anybody else has joined us late, this is your overview of the complete collection. So we have got our celebration keys, we've got our rose border, we've got our rose heart, we have our best wishes circle, our happy birthday circle, our harp. Then in our stamp and die sets, we have got our rambling rose, our Parisian romance, and our vintage fob watch. And then to team in with all of this, we've got our 5 mats and layers hearts. So we've got scalloped, decal, fluted, postage and plain. And for the first time ever in one of our mats and layers collections, every single one of them has a second element to it. So we've got pierces, we've got stitches, we've got dashes, we've got large stitches, and then of course we've got the second size of the plain, giving you the most value we've ever managed to chalk into a Mats and Layers collection, because every single set has got the same amount of dies running through it, I believe, or thereabouts. 15, 14, 14, 14, 14. So we've managed to fit one extra size into the plain ones, which is that one in the middle, to give you an idea.
Sorry, Rose just asking you, could you do a quick run through the RRPs again, please, if you don't mind?
I will give it a go, Rose. I've got post-its.
All these post-its mixed up.
We should have more cameras in here so you can see what goes on behind, outside of this footprint, the chaos that happens. But I've got post-its. Give me a second, Rose. So, happy birthday and best wishes. The recommended retail price of those is $7.99. Rose Heart, which is that one, is $16.99. Heart is Lost, but I think that was $9.99 by memory.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to correct from the sidelines. We're doing well. Parisian Romance is $19.99 for your stamps and your die sets. Then we have got our I'm getting cocky now. Rose Border. Rose Border is $14.99. The Best Wishes we did at $7.99 already. The Rambling Rose is $19.99. The Keys is $13.99. And the watches, what's that? Oh, the fob watch. Did you have a fob watch? Fob watch is $13.99. And the harp is Lost. It's free to a good home. It isn't. I'm sure it's $9.99, but I've lost where I've put my little tab. Hopefully that's enough info for you, Rose. But if there's any questions, please let me know and I will run through them once more. It's not a problem at all. It's literally what we're here for.
Tina was quickly asking when they're on Hobby Maker, but Laura has lovely kindly jumped in to say Saturday 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. Thank you, Laura. That
is correct. So, of course, Hobby Maker Saturday 1 and 5, as Pete and Laura say, but they are also going to be available from Unicorn Crafts if you're going to the demo day. So the demo day on Saturday, I'm going to put Pete on the spot here because I know this and I forgot. Gwen is going to be looking at the Shabby Chic Collection. What else is she doing?
She's also going to be touching on Sue's window collection.
The window collection! Ooh. Have you all got the window collection? Did you see the window collection? Did you fall in love with the window collection? The window collection is now out at Stockists. It's on Hobby Maker. It's everywhere. It is beautiful. If you haven't, and this isn't set up, this is laziness because I haven't yet put it away. But it's here. So if you haven't seen this yet, this is your window collection. And I'm going to go out on a limb actually and say how well this would coordinate with some of the Shabby Chic. I remember Kezia Craft many moons ago. They did some incredible windows with, believe it or not, shutters on the outside of them. And this was in paper form, just little tiny printed pictures of windows, but with shutters on. And then they put all roses around them. They look very Italian, I feel. But it would work very nicely in that Shabby Chic setup. So if you did go for this, you might have actually got in early to match in with what we're looking at already. But if you haven't already seen this, then there is lots of window accessories to go inside and outside your windows. And I know you might think we're a little bit balmy bringing you Christmas in January, but it takes you through the whole year. The idea is you have every scene you need to build up inside and outside that window. So whether it be Christmas, when we get to our Christmas crafting, whether it's autumn, whether it's spring, whether it's summer, whether it's inside, whether it's outside, everything is in this collection. We didn't want to do a collection where we was going to come back to you later in the year and go, oh, this is part 2. We wanted to bring you a collection where you've got everything you need to tell that story and get creative. And Gwen's done some incredible lives with this. She did some incredible shows on Hobby Maker. I know you can catch up with all of this on YouTube if you've not seen it, but if it's a new idea to you and you're just seeing it, think of teaming this with the Shabby Chic. I think you could have a lot of fun by that. Any questions, Pete, before we do a demo?
No, all good.
Now, what drawer did I hide the kit in? This is the question. I'll be back.
Keep yourselves entertained.
I didn't put them in the drawer. I didn't. I thought I don't want to go in the drawer because the drawers are on the floor. I put them on the desk under here, under the little lip. I've got them here. That's what's happening to me. My memory's gone, Peter. This is what you've done to me. You didn't pick up on that. I think I got away with that.
Saying a word. Laura said you could have the Eiffel Tower in the window.
Oh, oui, a Parisian view.
Oh, I'm just lost on the...
It's all the French I know. Don't know any other French. That's it, Pete. And it was when we was in France not that long ago that I found out how to spell it, and it wasn't as I expected, wasn't it?
We won't ask how he thinks it was spelt.
I thought it was just wee wee.
Oh,
But it isn't. What was it? You know this, I don't. I shouldn't confess all of my unintelligence.
I think it was O-U-I, isn't it? With a little accent across it.
Don't now question it, because you knew it, and you was like, oh, that's wee wee. And I was like, no, it's not.
Ooh.
And he was like, yes, it was. We had this whole conversation.
Reminds me of Hello, Hello.
I never watched Hello, Hello. I know nothing
didn't.
about Hello,
Oh,
Hello.
Renee.
Is that your French?
That's right.
Oh, dear.
Come on, people.
No
help
wonder
me
we
out.
didn't get on very well in France with this level of conversation ability. Very good that they talk English.
A quick question again. Sorry to interrupt you.
Not at all.
Elaine asked when will they be available to order from the local retailers, please.
So our stockist launch day will be the following Tuesday. So it's always our rule. Whenever our show dates are, they will come to the retailers the following Tuesday. So I forget the date of this one. I'm sure Pete will look it up for me and tell me. But it will be the following Tuesday they will be available for our retailers. Now, if our retailers are watching this evening, if we haven't sent you to sleep, we know you're busy. Apologise for our 2-hour rambling sessions. I'm sure you're not here now. But if you are here with us, then tomorrow will be the day that your pre-orders open. So keep an eye out for that to be released. Okay, so what we're going to be doing...
It's February the 3rd.
February the 3rd. I knew that. Why did I know that? Well, I should know that really, shouldn't I? But February the 3rd, so keep an eye out for your stockist, February the 3rd. On Monday evening, we will do a stockist live event. We'll tell you which stockists have them available as of the Tuesday as well. So if you are somebody who would prefer to go to a stockist, we understand, we have you covered. We will tell you more on next Monday's stockist live. We'll also fit in some more demos of this collection.
Sorry to interrupt. Sue says always entertaining.
Is it? Yeah, but that doesn't mean in a good way. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a good
Even
entertainment.
lovely Judy, all the way from Colorado, she says, yes, love Hello, Hello.
Love a light. See, I've never watched it. I don't
You
know.
missed it. She goes, oh, Renee.
Does she? Yeah. Does she do it with the same that you do?
Laura remembers Hello, Hello.
You remind me more of the ogre from Shrek when you're doing it.
Wow.
Not in any other way, just the growl that you seem to put into it. I don't know if that's normal, is it? Okay, so we're going to bring in our heart dyes for this one while we're
I have
chatting.
a feeling I'll be having a Renee mask soon.
Renee. So was there, I'm going off, I don't know if I should be asking these questions now. But was there not multiple people in this? You'd got Renee, who else had you got? Was there not?
Madame Edith.
Was there a, I don't want a Madame Edith
Madame
mask.
Edith.
Is there a Basil or somebody?
Oh no, you're thinking something else.
Am I? Okay. So am I really? Was it
You're
not
thinking
Basil
Fawlty
Faulty?
Towers.
Was you Renee not in Fawlty Towers?
Oh no.
Where was Renee then?
Renee was part of the. I think.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. He's hiding from the Renaissance, I think.
Oh, okay.
With Lieutenant Gruber.
I never watched Hello, hello either.
Oh, you're missing out. I'm going to put
Or
some on
Fawlty
when we get
Towers.
home. What a treat that'll be for you.
That'd be nice. I'm up for this.
You can
Okay.
tell he can't wait.
Well, now the Traitors is finished,
That'd
you've
be
got to
nice.
find something to watch. Okay, so all we're going to do here is we're going to take this element and we're going to cut out one heart. You don't want to watch me do this, do you? So I've already gone ahead, I've cut that out, so that's ready to go. Then we're going to use this element and we're going to take a self-adhesive sheet and we've stuck it onto a piece of card and we're then going to cut that out so that that is sticky and ready to work with. So that's that element. We're then going to use both of these together and we're going to cut this out so that we have a solid heart to play with our slatted effect. So all three of these components coming to us from that one set. What we're then going to do is we're going to take some pens. So I've placed my pens around here somewhere and we're going to bring in a piece of black card. Now this is just a little tip. You can of course do this on white card, but if I'm colouring over a die cut, I find if I colour over black card, I will see if I've missed any areas easier. Because if you put white on top of white and try to colour it and you miss a bit, you're not going to see it because it's on white. But if we put it on black, you should hopefully see it slightly better. Then all we're going to do is we're going to go in with some markers and we're going to pick out the roses. So we're going to go over the top here, and you can spend a bit more time doing this if you're at home than I'm going to. I'll inevitably miss a bit, but it doesn't matter, or hit a bit I shouldn't. But we're just going to colour over the top. we'll do that little bit in the middle as well. We'll go round the edges roughly. And then we'll see, I was about to stop and I was going to miss that bit out. Come back here, you. I think that'll do. You'll get the idea. And then we're going to bring in a green for some foliage, and we're going to do exactly the same again. And colour over our foliage elements. Now we would like to give away the card that we create this evening, as we always do. So my question for you this evening is, which is your favourite element from the collection? What's the bit that's got you chomping at the bit to track these down? Do you have a favourite bit? Maybe you don't. Maybe you're going to say, I don't like any of it, Jamie. That's not my bag at all. I don't want any of that. Or you might say, actually, Jamie, I need all of it. Every single element in that is one of the items that is going to be winging its way to me at some stage. Let us know in the comments which is your favourite element. You don't have to use the proper names. We'll take descriptions. We are not picky. So let us know what one is the one that's wet your whistle, the one you're after, or is it all of it? And Pete will pick a winner and we'll pop these cards in the post to whoever wins anywhere in the world. And of course, we'll pay you postage. That wouldn't be a very good competition, would it? If we made you pay the postage, that wouldn't be fair at all. So let us know. I might even ask you the same question next week and see if your idea has changed. We've never done that before, have we? We'll see. We'll worry about next week. Okay, once we have done those areas, then all we're going to do is we're going to pick another colour and we're going to colour on the rest of it. So let's see if I've got a nice pink down here. Because of my pink that I did my edges with was on a bit of an edge. Oh, that's all brown. Could I? Oh, I'm going to go brown. I wasn't thinking brown, but we're going to go brown. I'm going to go for the vintage look. And then all we're going to do is go over the rest of these areas. And again, you can be a bit more time sensitive at home when you're doing this. And the nice bit about this is I don't have to be too crisp, because even if I go over the green, this is a lighter shade and shouldn't hopefully notice that I've gone over it. Even if I go over the red, you shouldn't really notice that I've gone over it. Now, Pete, I am going to ask you in a moment for exact numbers for each of the elements.
Didn't pre-warn me of this little tally chart
Well,
coming
you know,
up.
that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Just put you on the spot at this stage. I can see out the corner of my eye that the screen is going quite bananas. So I'm interested to see if there is a winner.
We could have some fun. I don't appear to have a pen.
You don't. I can give you a marker. Oh, I could give you a pen. Make that sound like this isn't a pen. What is this if it's not a pen? Do you want me to throw a pen at you? Not violently. Incoming. Okay, so there is our colouring done over the top of our heart. What we're then going to do is we're going to go on to that sticky one. We're going to take the top part off of this, and we're going to reveal the sticky, and we're going to place this one over the top of that one, and we're going to give that a little push down. Now when Gwen does this, Gwen always does this in a much better way. If you've not watched Gwen's lives, honestly, that woman is a genius. Let's show you the way that Gwen does it. Gwen would take this bit and place it down that way on a non-stick mat and then line it up from the top so that you actually get it right without having to worry. She knows what she's doing, that woman. She does. I don't. She does. So I'll give that a little push down, see if that's... Oh, that ain't too bad, is it? That ain't too bad. I'm very conscious of you getting to see my bald bit. Not because I'm worried about my bald bit, but the last thing you want to see is the top of my head coming in whilst trying to line it up. So that ain't too shabby. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to trim this little bit off the side, but it doesn't matter because we're never going to see it. So there we go. And then we're going to bring in our piece of paper again. Now where we've stuck this onto something sticky, it is of course sticky. So what are we going to put through those holes? Well, obviously we could go for lots of things. We could use glitters, we could use gilded flakes, we could go off on a whole tangent. We could even bring in some of our atomic glitters. Ooh. We're not going to use those because they've got a bit vintagey and that isn't what's on the finished card. So we're going to stick to a glitter. But actually I don't know, I think we might lose it if I went rose, but I kind of like the rose. I'm going to see if I can still find it because it should be here somewhere. I bought in a diamond white and I don't know where I've put it. Oh, here it is. It's right in front of me. Diamond white. So we'll use our diamond white glitter and we'll sprinkle this over the top. We're going to be layering it on top of white, so that'll be quite nice if it all coordinates. So we're going to put this right the way over the top and just infill all of those areas. Are you actually keeping a tally over there? Oh, I was honestly just winding you up. Oh, Peter. Okay,
I'm hoping for a lower low tonight, so.
At this stage, who's winning?
Well, it's quite a mix, to be honest. The fob watch is doing well, I think.
Oh, I like the fob. I like all of it, but I do like the fob watch. Okay, we'll place that back into the jar. And then we would layer this on top of that, as we did before. But we're going to do it with this one because this one's already got some foam tape and it's going to match in with the pink of the layers. So we'll get those out, that one out of the way. And we're going to layer that on top of that. Now, isn't that pretty? But even there, we can start to see how actually just different colours can really change the story we're telling with this. Maybe we do want to go vintagey, travel-y. Maybe we do want to go really antique-y. Maybe we do want to go a little bit more sort of young and fresh and baby orientated. The colours that we use are really going to change that story really easily. And if you don't like colouring over the top, you could actually go in and snip this out. So you could cut one in green, one in pink, and then one in the colour that you want the background to be, and layer them up. They'd be ever so easy to snip out if you would prefer to go at it in that way instead. Moving on. So for this square, all we've done is we've taken the border element. Now this border element, now we kind of looked at it in the pack, didn't we? We've kind of chatted about it a couple of times, but let's actually show you it in its flesh as such. Bring in a piece of card. So that is your element that's going to cut your lace edge to it. This is the element that's going to cut your rose detail. And this is the element that's going to cut across that kind of picket edgy look. Now what you'll find with these is down the edges of this die, I've purposely designed these that they've got the same scallops running down them. So these, I don't know how well you'll see it, but they lock in. So you can lock in wherever you want these borders to be. Now whether it's that one or this one, they will lock in on both sides. So when it comes to layering this together, it is super easy to do. And on the back, it's flush, so you can then just add a bit of tape to it, a little low tack tape, and you're going to know that that's going to match up perfectly. And if you want to add the same border on both sides, you then know that you can line it up without them being, so you've got a, you don't want this here, and then over that side, that bump there, so you can kind of see that you're going to be level on both sides, and it will match nicely and easily. But for this card, all we would do is we'd take that element, we'd pick where we want it to be within the square, and we would send it through. Now, of course, we could go diagonally, we could go off on one corner, we could go towards the top, we could go towards the bottom, we could go towards the side. This is the joy of having this element completely movable to wherever we want it to be. For my one, I've gone through the middle. Nice and simple. We're then going to bring in a piece of that self-adhesive sticky. Again, on a piece of card, we would take this part off. We would cover this in glitter to make a nice glittery card base, and we would stick that on to the next size down square. For my next size down square, I've gone for that picket edge square, which of course comes within that set that we bought to you previously. So that we're going back and we're coordinating everything together. That now is nice and sparkly, and it is going to match up perfectly underneath the rose element. So we can go in, we can pull these bits of tape off, and we can add that on there. Now, of course, we could have done that in some colour if we prefer. It doesn't have to just be white on white. We could have done this over coloured card. So actually we've got a nice white crisp but over coloured card instead. The choice is ours. But actually we can see already how that could be quite a nice component whether we're using it vertically or horizontally. We're going to bring in a piece of card which we've used the same colour alcohol marker to run around the edge of as what we've used to colour the heart. And we're going to place this one on top of that one. And then we're going to bring in our heart element and we're going to stick that into the centre of it. And then we're going to finish this off by adding this onto a card blank. So we'll bring in a card blank and I'll give you a size if I can find where I've hid my rule. Here we have it. So the card is 7 inches by 7 inches. And we're going to take the, I was going to take the tape off. There's no tape on it. No tape's coming off if it doesn't exist on it, does it? Oh dear, dear, dear. So we'll bring in some foam tape and we'll add this to the back of it. So this is our 2mm foam tape and we're just going to make a few strips of this going down on this panel. Oh. There we go. So, independent adjudicator, do we have a leading element currently?
Well, there's a lot of love for all of it, to be honest, but the Lacy Heart seems to be the winner.
Lacy Heart. Oh, so it's overtaken the Fob Watch at this stage.
Yep.
Okay.
Although I now am feeling hungry. Michael asked whether we eat something before the live, or do we, when do we eat?
When do we eat? Just in life. When do you eat?
And lovely Nikki Carroll, she says there's a McDonald's and a KFC just round the corner from the store with a little winky face. There might be, Nikki.
There might be.
Maybe a regular haunt.
Sadly, neither have been visited today.
No.
No, there is no food at the inn today. We've had a funny day, haven't we? A good day. Always a good day.
Cake and a biscuit, I think.
Cake and a biscuit. We'll have dinner tonight when we get home. It's been a funny day, but it's a good day. All days here are a good day. Genuinely they are. We are truly living the dream. And I mean that. That isn't some sort of sarcasm. It's genuine. We love what we do. Our little world is a fun world to be. So there we have our completed card for you. Very easy, very simple, nothing complicated. One layer cut in, one cut sort of built up heart. Very simple, very effective, but very easy to do. And this is the card that we would like to send out to one lucky winner. So Pete, could you get picking a winner for us, and we'll do our recaps of everything we need to know for the day.
Indeed.
So of course the collection we've been looking at, our lovely new Shabby Chic collection with its little additions to many different families under our brand, is going to launch this week on Hobby Maker. So that's going to be January 31st at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. I hope you can join me for the shows. I've got lots of demos I want to try and fit in. Of course, you'll get lots of flashes again of the cards we've looked through this evening too. So hopefully give you a bit more inspiration there. The cards we've gone through this evening, this is something you might not know about. We do actually have an idea gallery on our website. Now, this isn't a website you can purchase from. This is just our Creative Expressions website, and on it, it tells you our stockist list. So you can go on there and you can see stockists all around the world that carry our products. And one of the tabs across the top is Idea Gallery. If you give that a click, it will open up and it will show you a little image for every release we've brought to you. If you give that a click, it will open up and it will show you all of the items in the release, and then it will show you all of the cards that we have made with it, to just try and give you a library of inspiration that you can go to time after time. And it might be that you've got that collection, it might not be. It might be that you just want to make a card for a man, for instance. So you want to go and check out our steampunk gallery and see if you've got some ideas already of bits that you've got that are going to work for you in that format. But it's there for you. It's a resource that you can use time after time. It's free to use, it's easy to access, and it's laid out very simple to follow. So if you haven't already gone and had a little look at that, do go have a little look. Next week, when we get to stockist launch, so it'll be next Tuesday. Yeah, not tomorrow, next Tuesday. That gallery will be added for the new Shabby Chic collection. So it'll be there once it's available at stockists, and it will also, of course, link to the stockist list so that you can find your stockists to go and get hold of these items from. So it's just a nice resource to know it's coming. If you didn't already know about it, that gallery will be uploaded and all of this will be on there for you. Tracy in the office works very hard to bring these galleries together and make sure that that inspiration is in one place for you, because we know when you've received your items, the one thing we always need is that little glimpse of inspiration, don't we? That little back up to what we see. I know tonight you've probably seen 10 cards, like them, and by tomorrow or the next day you're going to have forgot exactly how they were made and what was used. Well, you know then that that's going to be popping up for you to be able to refer back to. So, as I say, Hobby Maker this Saturday 31st at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. If you are in the Sheffield area, or of course willing to pop to Sheffield for the day, or maybe go for the weekend, who doesn't love a cheeky weekend away, you could go to Unicorn Crafts on Saturday from 10 till 4. Gwen will be in the building and bring you inspiration with this collection, and they will have it, of course, available for you to purchase it. So it's exclusive to the telly and exclusive to that demo day. They're the only two places that you're going to be able to get it. If you missed the conversation earlier, I think we decided it was going to be called semi-exclusive. Was that what we landed on?
Semi or doubly exclusive?
Semi-doubly exclusive. It can't be exclusive to two people at once, but it is exclusive to two people at once. So the only two places you're going to be able to track these down. And then next Monday we'll be back for stockist launch. We'll talk about stockists and where you'll be able to get it thereafter, if you haven't, of course, gone to the demo day or, of course, ordered it from Hobby Maker. This Thursday, Gwen is going to be back with you for her live, and she's already popped up a post on the Creative Expressions page asking for what you'd like to see What ideas do you want to know about? What tips and techniques do you wish for her to cover? She's got lots in the bank to go through, so don't panic if you haven't seen that post, or if you can't find it, or if you don't know how to ask. She's got lots of bits set up. She's a font of knowledge. But if you do have a technique that you've seen her cover previously, or I've covered previously, or somebody at the CE team has covered and you'd like her to delve into it a bit more, or explain it or show it again, then pop that comment on that post and she will come back to it and try her very best to give you some inspiration and answers to that question on Thursday, live with you at 7 p.m. On Sunday, it's turn for our design team chat once again to return to the CE page. So on our Creative Expressions main page at midday on Sunday each week, one of our design team takes centre stage and they kind of open a chat room of discussion. It's your place to ask them questions. It's not all live, it is literally just in chat boxes, but you can ask questions about techniques and tips and ideas. You can also find out a little bit about their world and how they tick and how their design process works. I find them really interesting to have a little read of. It really does help us to get to know our DT and to see where these ideas come from and kind of break down those barriers between you guys and those, because it's sometimes nice to know the person behind who's created something. So if you haven't yet joined us for one of our DT chats, you can of course scroll back down the page and find all of the previous ones. These have been going on for a couple of months now, but they are taking place every Sunday at midday, and this week it is the turn of Wendy who will be joining you. And then my last reminder for you, I believe, I don't think I've got to tell you anything else. My last thing on my little card here is to remind you of our competition. Over on our Creative Expressions official group, we have a competition running through that out the whole of January, and it's your chance to win a £75 goodie bag stuffed full of Creative Expressions goodies. It's a great little competition and it's your place to share with us and share your creativity. And each month it has a different theme or a different brand that's kind of allotted to it. This month is the Jamie Rodgers Crafts brand. So obviously at Creative Expressions we bring you lots of different brands, we distribute lots of different brands too. More coming soon. I hear rumours, I'm not allowed to say nothing. But our Jamie Rodgers Crafts brand is the one we're focusing in on this month. So all you've got to do is share with us something you've created with the Jamie Rodgers Crafts brand. Now that could be something of a die, a stamp, a stencil, an ink pad, a mister, whatever it may be. Just add on to it hashtag January, if I remember rightly, and it will of course be entered. We will pick the winner and announce the winner on Monday, the 2nd of February on our live. So tune in then to find out if you are our lucky winner. And then, oh, I know what I haven't shared with you. I'm going to let Pete do the winner and then we're going to come back. But I want to share with you Die of the Week before I let you go. So if you've got 5 minutes after we've done that, I want to share a couple of bits from Die of the Week with you. But let's do your winner before Pete sat there, finger on button.
I'm poised. I wanted to press some other buttons, but I daren't. So I need to test
I know
them
what
out
some of
already.
them noises are.
So do I. That's why I couldn't risk it.
Come on, let's go over to Pete. Come on, Peter. Give us your winner for the evening. Oh, there you go.
There we go. Thank you all for joining us and joining in the silliness, and seems to be a lot of love for Jamie's collections, which is lovely to see. So the winner tonight, who chose or selected their favourite to be the Lacy Heart, little clue there as the winner, is always goes on longer, say it every week. Sharon Hall. Congratulations, Sharon. If you pop us an email to jamierodgerscrafts@hotmail.com, let us know if you want the card signed or not, and let us know your address or where you'd like it posted, and we'll get that in the post for you. So yeah, thank you all for joining in, and see you soon. Better hand over to the boss.
Don't say goodbye just yet.
Oh no, not
I've got
just
the
yet.
tease of the Die of the Week.
Oh, Die of the Week, with a little jingle, didn't we?
Die of the Week.
It's the Die of the Week.
We're good. We need to cut that and use that each week. So this is our Die of the Week this week. This is the Bountiful Butterflies by Sue Wilson. Its recommended retail price is $9.99. You may well find this on a cheeky little offer in a few of our stockists who may be offering it with up to 20% off. There are 8 dies in this set, lots of beautiful butterflies, some solid, some open, lots of different styles, including kind of landing, takeoffs and all that kind of thing, make it sound like a plane. But this is our Bountiful Butterfly set, 8 dies in here. Now, our DT have been working their magic, and each day this week at 9 a.m. you are going to see a different creation shared to our Creative Expressions Facebook page to give you some inspiration on what you could be creating with these. If you'd like to know more about where you can track them down, then of course check out the stockist list and then contact your favourite stockist, and I'm sure they'll be able to tell you if it's a die and an offer they have available for you. But if it isn't, keep on looking, because I'm sure you'll find one of our stockists who are partaking in this lovely offer, and of course backing up your inspiration that you're going to be receiving from us every day at 9 a.m. Now you're going to see these being posted on the page throughout the week, so when you see them, pretend you've not seen them, because I'm only meant to share one or two with you, and here I'm going through all of them, so shh, don't tell anybody. But hopefully it gives you a little glimpse of what you could be creating with this beautiful die set, and how easy it's going to be to create focal points, backgrounds, beautiful cards, very easy, very simply, with that one essential butterfly set. So that's the Bountiful Butterflies, available from your stockist right now, potentially with up to 20% off as we celebrate Die of the Week. Now, something else I did want to mention for you actually, just before I let you go, Ralph the Rocker is back in stock, and if you had this on extended dispatch from Hobbymaker, keep an eye out for the postman. He is en route bringing this to you. They are back in the building and they are ready to rock. These are of course our stamp and die sets from our Cuddly Clan collection, bringing you Ralph with his microphone, his guitar, his little records, and a couple of other additions too. Also back in stock is the Kaleidoscope segments, as well as the Cosmos Flower, the Cosmos Leaves, and the Cosmos Floral Panel. Now, all of these items, if you're wondering what the collection is, these featured on our show January, December. Was it early January, December? Christmas? I don't know.
End of December?
End of December, maybe.
End of December.
When we did our best of bits and bobs from jamierodgerscrafts on Hobbymaker, and all of these collections sold out instantly on the air, literally before we'd even got to them. Was it not like the day after Boxing Day, thinking about it? Something like that.
It was like 30th, wasn't it?
But they are now back in stock, so keep an eye on your stockists, because I'm sure they'll be heading back in the doors anytime soon. They've literally just arrived here at HQ. So again, if you've got a favourite stockist, either keep an eye on them to arrive back, or of course give them a little nudge and say, oi up, Jamie's told me the Kaleidoscope segments are back, can you order one in for me? And I'm pretty sure they'll do that for you, because that's what they're like. Okay, that is all of our news. We're going to leave you in peace now. But thank you very much for joining us this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been lovely having you all here with us. Thank you again for you to joining us, and of course to our DT for the incredible samples we've had to share with you. I look forward to seeing you all on Saturday at 1 p.m. on Hobbymaker. So from me, good night, and from our independent adjudicator in the corner,
good night from me and all. See you soon.
We'll see you all shortly. Thanks for watching.
Take care.
Bye for now.
Bye.